Right, new figures have shown that female breast cancer deaths have dropped by a massive 44% in the last 30 years, thanks to advances in research and in treatment.
Elizabeth Hurley has been campaigning for better care for 25 years, and for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we sent her to the Royal Marsden Hospital to find out how far we've come.
I've been working to raise awareness of breast cancer for the last 25 years.
I lost my grandmother to breast cancer a long time ago in the early 90s, and at that time nobody spoke about breast cancer.
Visiting the ward, I get to talk to Beverly Thompson-Horton, who's keeping the conversation going.
How was your cancer diagnosed?
I found a teensy-weensy little painful lump, and of course I ran off to the doctors, and they were incredibly good. Unless I've been incredibly fortunate, but everyone that I've spoken to have been really, really happy and fortunate in that they go to their GP, they go through this very quick system where within 7 days you see all the relevant professionals and get your diagnosis, be it good or indifferent.
I'm the Global Ambassador for the Estee Lauder Company's breast cancer campaign. I'm here today to meet some of the research scientists that we fund through the Breast Cancer Research Foundation and hear what they have to tell us. I just wondered what's new. What can you tell me since I last saw you?
Breast cancer is not just one disease. We used to think it was. Everyone got pretty well the same treatment. There are 4 or 5 major types. And then in addition to that, every single breast cancer is a little bit different. And if you can work out what these precise differences are, then it gives you a chance to target the therapy specifically for that patient. That's what's really new.
Is it just we need more money, more funding, more researchers? That has to speed it up, right?
Well, certainly we can't do anything without funding. We do need the money to keep coming in. And some of the other things that have actually, the science is done now, draws upon things like the genetic code. The availability of that means we can do work on DNA. We need the money to enable us to do it, and then we can do it even more quickly.
Jan!
After having a double mastectomy in 2011, Jan White has recently found out that cancer has returned to her bones. She's now starting a new trial medication.
At first it was a no, because I was too frightened. And then I thought, actually, it's a second chance. And if some of us don't do it, I'm 73, when are the others going to know about these things? So the donations are very important for the research, because if we'll never find a cure if we don't all have a go.
Do you say that since you started your work in the breast cancer field, there have been good progress?
It's been enormous progress. When I began working in breast cancer, the majority of women who got breast cancer died, like 70% died. Now, the great majority are cured. 70–75% are cured.
It's been fantastic to meet the professors and also to meet some of the patients who, of course, are really hoping that all the professors' work will pay off for them.
And Elizabeth joins us now alongside breast cancer survivor Lauren Mahon. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for being here today. And Elizabeth, for you, I mean, this has been nearly 25 years of work, but this was all inspired by your grandmother, wasn't it?
It was. When I started working for the breast cancer campaign, my grandmother had just died. So when I was told that it was being started because women were dying and people weren't talking about it, it really rang home for me, because my grandmother didn't talk about it.
She was scared.
That generation.
She was scared.
She was scared. We didn't know anything about breast cancer. There was no pink ribbon. There was no Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It was a scary subject which we whispered about.
She found a lump but didn't tell anybody.
She didn't tell anybody, I know. So when Evelyn Lauder told me about this campaign and said that's why she was doing it, I just realised she was absolutely right. And we've seen great changes in 25 years.
As a programme, we're very proud of our pedigree when it comes to breast cancer awareness, and we work very, very hard to show live how to do examinations.
Yep.
And then I read the stats this morning and thought, oh, this is really slow. Whereas, yes, there's been a drop in death rates, survival rates up to sort of 90% now if it's discovered early. But actually being aware yourself, knowing yourself, 1 in 5, 21%, never check their breasts at home for signs of cancer. Over a third of women who don't check their breasts for cancer at home say this is because they don't know what they're looking for. 1 in 7 never seen or been shown how to check their breasts for signs of cancer. 1 in 5 find breast cancer checking an embarrassment. People say they've never spoken to anybody about it. And those are frightening stats, really. I thought we'd have come further.
They are frightening statistics. You're right that mortality rates have decreased 40% since the 1980s, but still 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Every 15 seconds around the world, somebody is diagnosed. And you're right, from that survey, people aren't checking their own breasts because when you're still too young to have a mammogram, which perhaps is under 40, in some countries it's under 50 because the breast tissue is so dense, you have to check your own breasts. You know, maybe every year your doctor can. Your doctor should show you how to check your breast for the first time. But you have to. It's actually in our hands at the beginning because when you're too young for a mammogram. I'm not too young for a mammogram now, but I was at one stage.
So Lauren, for you, because you were diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2016 and you discovered the lump by accident, you know, you're a young person and yet your sort of knowledge of breast cancer and how to check yourself, you didn't have it. You were one of those stats.
I was one of those stats, and all my peers were as well. I was never shown, I was never told. I actually thought, you know, it was something I never had to worry about. We've always thought that breast cancer is a disease for people in a more advanced life stage, I like to say. But actually, when it happened to me, it was such a shock to the system. And I thought, whoa, if I'm not checking my breasts, none of my peers are. So I've kind of made it my work to kind of support campaigns like this.
One of the things that you do, you're a vlogger on this, a very active campaigner. It's essentially your job now, isn't it?
It is my job, yeah.
And so you say, know you're normal. What do you mean by that?
So I think around Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we all get, we've got all the messaging coming at us, left, right and centre. We're told to check our breasts. And I think a lot of women will do that for this month, but then they won't continue to do it as a habit. And it's about forming the habit of a lifetime and getting to know what is normal for your breast health. So that means checking around the same time every month, checking regularly in the same ways, having a look in the mirror as well as touch. Some people find it lying down, standing up. So it's just knowing, you know, it's your body, it's your responsibility, but it's not being afraid. You're not looking for cancer. You're getting to know what's normal for your chest.
And as we said, there's the research has progressed so much, and now you can pinpoint the DNA of a tumour, and they can specifically target that tumour with a certain type of treatment. So things are advancing all the time.
And that's through research.
Yeah.
What we've predominantly done, we're raising awareness, but we're raising funds for research too.
Yeah.
£65 million to date with our campaign.
Wow.
But we need more money.
Yes,
So we're looking to raise more funds. We have a social media, Instagram thing. Can I tell people about it?
Yeah.
How to help us raise money? If you take pink lipstick, draw a pink ribbon on your hand, post it to your Instagram account, use 2 hashtags, Time to End Breast Cancer, and ELC Donates will donate $25 for every post up to $250,000 to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So you can join in. You can check my Instagram page to see exactly how to do it.
And we'll put all the details on our website and also on our app. And also, we've got, in our archive, we will have, not that long ago, videos of the times that we've had our doctors in here who've shown you how to do that check. So we'll put that on the app as well.
Yeah,
so
you've never watched
want to
that
have a
too
look,
many times, for sure.
Put that on the app if you're a bit unsure.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.